The conference drew on participants from academic, political and business spheres from Bangladesh and the UK. This is an especially significant period for the country, which became an independent state in 1974. Run by a caretaker government following violent outbreaks 18 months ago, the elections at the end of this year could mark a turning point, regardless of whether the Awami League or Nationalist Party win power.
Much will really depend on whether you have a genuinely free and fair election. That's basically what the whole exercise is all about, and you really have the will of the voters being the relevant variable in what really emerges out of that process. Now, who will be elected, of course, will naturally make something of a difference, but operationally the question would be whether they then function as an effective government.
Much of Professor Sobha's work is on poverty and injustice in South Asia. Despite efforts to strengthen the country's democratic framework, he sees a widening gap between the very few who hold power and wealth and the great majority of Bangladeshis.
The crucial issue is that you now need to design a development agenda which would effectively make them into stakeholders and shareholders in what goes on, because the most effective and hardworking people are our farmers. They've crippled production, our garment workers, the girls who've come from villages and who work 10, 12 hours a day for a mere $1 a day is all they get out of all this. And you, in fact, have our migrant workers who are sending back $7 billion to Bangladesh. These are the people who've really made Bangladesh.
Looking out onto the Bay of Bengal, Bangladesh shares most of its borders with India and, to a much lesser degree, Burma. There have been disagreements with India over boundaries, but the potential for greater economic interaction is a hope for the future.
We were always anxious for India to open up its markets to Bangladesh. They have taken some initiative in that direction. Indians are anxious to have better connectivity on the ground in terms of logistics for people and goods. That, I think, will need to be resolved one way or the other. There are big Indian investment projects which would be mutually beneficial. The outgoing government was inhibited about taking decisions prior to an election. Hopefully the post-election government will move there, because these will have a substantive transformational effect on the Bangladesh economy if it goes ahead.
Bangladesh stands at the crossroads, but clearly democratic elections are vital to its future.